Hello everyone, a quick little PSA before we get into the video. I am so sorry for this video. There are good aspects to this podcast and oh my gosh, you'll understand if you decide to watch it. If you decide not to watch it, it's completely fine. I would honestly say skip the first 20 minutes and and probably skip from like the 40th minute to the hour mark. Honestly. Again, I extremely apologize for this video. And there are sometimes where either one or both of our voices have been bleeped out, but there's no sound. So, just want to let y'all know that there are periods where there's like no sound, when there's just background sound. But also, again, I really do want to apologize for this podcast. This is probably the worst podcast that we've made. So, sorry. But let's get into it.
Let you count now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the What a Time to Be Alive podcast. It truly is what a time to be
Fucking
alive.
facts. Nope, I mean just facts.
But ironically, we won't get into much of that because most of it's political and religious, and those are two things we don't really talk about on this channel.
Yeah, I love that we're like, we're not going to talk about these things. What do we talk about? Those things.
It's a What a Time to Be Alive podcast.
And what a time,
but we won't
what a
talk
time,
about the things
what a time.
That makes it what a time to be alive.
I think that's something that's really funny is that, like,
Even my cam was like, nope.
The camera's like, just stop. The camera wants us. The camera's like, give up on your dreams.
There we go. Okay.
Jeez. Yeah. I don't know if I talked about this in the last episode. I have a water fountain for my cat behind this, like, curtain. I have a bunk bed, and this curtain, like, is the, like, under part of the bunk bed, where I keep all of my, like, cat stuff, basically. So if you can hear a water fountain, it's because it's literally right there. I can touch it from where I'm sitting.
Excuse me.
I also really quickly want to say we filmed this like we filmed the Watcher Spooky Boys videos, where we get together, we have a drink, and then we film several of these because our schedules are so bad. Our schedules are so bad. So we will just get
I don't know what you're talking about.
Unsober. You're a little Christian boy.
I've never had a sip of alcohol in my life.
And I'm Harry Styles, baby! No, you know what? I'm Taylor Swift. I'm Taylor Allison Swift. And the fact that I know her middle name is disturbing for me.
Don't bring that into my Minecraft question solver.
Okay, Karen. Okay, Boomer.
That's not even Boomer. That's fucking middle schoolers from 5 years ago.
Did they? I was never in one of those.
Not
did
even
they
5 years
say that
ago.
shit?
That was like
unironically, did they actually say that? Oh, hi, baby.
I have no idea.
Pretty princess.
But it became a meme, and now we have
It's honestly one of my favorite memes because to this day
get out of my Christian Minecraft server.
To this day, my best friend and I, we FaceTime like all day, every day. We really do. It's low-key problematic. We're both aware that it gives codependency, but we're okay with it because we're both anxious bitches. Because who doesn't have anxiety these days? But every now and then either I'll say something, it's more likely that I'll say something kind of a bit unhinged, or sometimes she'll say something and we'll both be like, not in my Minecraft Christian server. We don't do it as much nowadays, but we every now and then we'll bring it back up. We'll judge it from the pits of hell. From our meme books.
Wait. It's so... Well, it just mentioned it, but at the same time, for the new people here, this is a What a Time to Be Alive.
Oh yeah,
podcast.
we haven't even introduced ourselves yet.
This is, I don't know what fucking episode this is by now because I don't pay attention to what episode it is.
We
When I
also kind of
upload
filmed
the
these
video,
out
I'm
of
just
context as well.
when I upload the video, I'm just like, okay, the last one was episode this, so it's fine.
We're really professionals
I don't know
here.
what episode. Well, even my camo agrees with me. We're like episode 12 now.
Are
probably.
we really? Oh my gosh!
Probably.
Wow. Here's
but
12
anyway,
episodes, babes.
If you're new here, hey, even my camera wants me to introduce myself. Okay. I'm Tyler.
I'm Aspen. Come here. This is Artemis. Yes, my cat is so pissed off with me.
But he is.
There you go, baby. I'm sorry.
He is on the other side of that door. He's probably on the couch asleep. But if you're new here, welcome. If you're not new here, welcome back. It'll probably just be more unhinged crap from the last video.
Yeah. I think I've mentioned this. We filmed this like the Watcher Boys episode. I know that I mentioned it to us, but have I mentioned it on recording?
Your ADHD self mentioned it.
On recording? Okay,
yes.
Cool. Somebody mentioned it. That's good.
Oh my god. Anyway, we were talking about
something. Oh, our scheduling conflicts. How we we
went so much on a fucking tangent.
Yeah, we've had like an hour's worth of a conversation in between the last podcast and this podcast. Maybe not in actual like IRL time hours, but we fit enough conversations in there to be an hour's worth of conversation.
Oh, definitely.
100%.
But yeah, I will say that we do film these in chunks just because neither of us have set schedules yet.
And I look forward to when we do.
Record. I hope we do because I would much rather record. I would much rather one of these come out on Friday. We record on like
that's
Saturday
what we both
Sunday,
want so
and then
bad.
I have the rest of the week to edit it because.
Yeah, because my computer's broke, which we also got into last episode.
Well, yeah, but that's also because of the technology I have.
That's true. You have a better setup than I do.
Gaming. I have a whole fucking PC setup that's so much better than Apple.
Oof,
don't get me wrong,
shade
I love
Apple.
I have an iPhone and a Apple laptop, but in terms of recording and like gaming and stuff, PC is just so much better. Except for this stupid ass camera. Oh, that one comes back. This stupid ass camera is on autofocus and it doesn't like to focus sometimes.
My eyes are on autofocus and I've had enough that they're not working either.
Anyway, so yeah, we mostly record these in like chunks. So if stuff gets repetitive, I'm sorry, but we're both ADHD motherfuckers.
We are.
So we might not remember what we were talking about and then come back to it.
Yeah.
So.
But honestly, I like to think that anyone who's watching that appreciates the charm of us being, squirrel? Huh?
Yeah, that's part of why we named this podcast What a Time to Be Alive, because it's an unhinged podcast where we talk about whatever we think we should talk about. So
yeah,
that's what we talk about.
Yeah.
I know that. So our first topic for today, I guess. Let's talk about we talked about it like a while ago, but it's been stuck in my head for so long. Can they bring back the old targets?
Right?
Like the targets where they freaking had a whole damn like snack.
Yes. Yes.
I used to every time that I went in Target, I would ask my parents for a pretzel.
See, and I was the hot dog.
Like,
I wanted the hot dog. Those hot dogs were so good.
I don't like hot dogs.
I love hot dogs. I do.
loved having that soft pretzel, and that's really where like my love for pretzels in general came
Pretzels
from.
are
This is
so
from Target,
nice. They really are.
and now they got rid of the food court. I mean, they still have Starbucks,
Like,
but
it's not
at
the
the same time, I'm
same.
like, it's not the same, and Starbucks is going through some shit right now, which we're not gonna
Oh,
get
I didn't know
into.
that. Tell me that off camera because I don't know
But
the tea.
I will tell you that later.
Listen, when I tell you that, like, my TikTok feed is Harry Styles, Louis Tomlinson, Larry, a smidge of Taylor Swift because I like follow you and like one other person who are like a Swiftie. Like the other
Yeah.
person is, I would say, more of a Swiftie than you are. But I follow both of you, and because I get like because when you repost stuff or they repost stuff, I see it, and so then every now and then I'll be like, oh, that's funny, like, and
Yeah,
so it gets me on.
I'm gonna say I almost never repost Taylor Swift stuff. I almost always repost political stuff, which I'm really fucking ashamed that TikTok has come to that.
Yeah.
But
And that's why whenever
my
you
TikTok
do
is
repost,
so political.
that's why when you repost political stuff on TikTok, I don't interact with it, and I see that it's political,
That's
I see that
fine.
it's you,
I
and I
don't
swipe
care.
because I love you so much, but I do not. Just because TikTok has become kind of a like safe space for me to like not have to worry
and I
about
get
that, you
because
know?
it was a safe space for
And
me
I really want to preserve that.
until politics came into the app, and now part of my, especially since the 2024 elections are coming up, my TikTok is becoming more and more political, which I'm trying my hardest to just swipe.
But it's so
past those
hard,
videos,
it really is.
But they just keep coming up, and I'm really only reposting stuff that is, the truth,
and that's why I do watch it, but I try not to like interact with it. But I will say, regardless of what you believe, go vote, go register to vote. Voting is important. Your voice matters. You don't have to agree with us, but please go vote, go vote, go vote, go vote. All right.
It's literally in the Constitution that you can vote. So why not?
Like, just exercise your voice.
If you vote,
go ahead.
Exactly. Like, even if you vote the complete opposite of me,
I don't care. I want people to vote.
Yes,
I want people to have a voice.
Like that, but
I want people to have a voice. I don't have to agree with you. You don't have to agree with me. But at the very least, I want you as an individual to feel, and I hate that I'm about to say this. I hate because, and the reason I hate this is because my best friend and I have a whole inside joke about this because we went through some shit. But I want you to feel seen and heard, and I want you to exercise your right to vote. So please, 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 please go vote. It's so important. Go register to vote. It's so, 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 so important because you as an individual, your voice matters. Regardless of what the government thinks, regardless of what you think the government thinks, your voice matters. Please, 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 please make your voice heard. Thank you for listening to my PSA. Go vote.
My TED Talk. Thank you for listening.
No, but I do think that it is so important, regardless of if we don't see eye to eye politically. I do think that, like, your voice does matter, and I think I've definitely been there where I'm like, oh, it doesn't matter. It's just going to be whatever the white conservatives say. It doesn't matter what I say. But I've seen the change that, like, what I agree with has made. I've seen that, and I continue to see that. And I think, regardless of if I want it to always be on my feed, I think the fact that you're, like, when you do repost those things of, like, little wins for, like, the actual truth, I do see that, and I'm like, yes, because people have voted, because people have, like, made change is being made, and that does excite me. I just also, TikTok, I need it to stay a safe place for my little mindset to be like, oh, look, it's Harry Styles. Oh, look, it's Louis Tomlinson. Oh, look, it's Larry! You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
So, I try to, like, keep my Facebook to be political, because I'm never on Facebook, and
I don't even have Facebook anymore.
I love reposting, like, liberal things on my Facebook thing, because it pisses everybody off, because all of the like Karen like Southern Baptist moms will be like, actually, and I'm like, fuck you, Karen. And I love it. It gives me life. It really does.
Yeah.
But I also
But
like that
that's
because I'm
also
bringing like the
why-
truth to like people who would never actually see the truth because they're so like this is all I know. This is what I've been trained to believe. This is like I'm sticking with my like little brainwashed life. But like, and I get it because I was also very brainwashed to believe that this is the one true God and this is the one true this and this is the one true. But once you realize and you like take those off and go, what is the rest of the world? You go, oh shit, I'm an asshole. I was okay with that. I was like participating in the like new party. Oof. I'm ashamed of myself. And now that I realize that, I can like speak up and be like, listen, if you're questioning things, please look into it. Just look into it. You don't have to agree with it at the end of the day, but just look into it. Because at the very least, the worst you're gonna learn is that like you learn something new. Or you have compassion for somebody else. That's it. You have Christians are like this, just the Christians that we grew up around are like this. And so that's where like when we say these things, we're not saying all Christians. We're saying the ones that we know are
Can
like
we just
this.
talk about the point
because I think
that
I literally had a
going
conversation.
to cut in at
Yeah.
some point and say that we don't talk
No, they're
about
not. The mass
reason
majority
that we don't
aren't.
talk about religion
But
and
unfortunately,
politics on this channel is
the
because
news
it
and the
is
media and
so,
all that, they like the extremes
like,
because it's juicy to talk about. It is. It's juicy to talk about.
I just don't want that kind of discourse.
But I had a very
just want us
unfortunate
to be,
conversation with somebody
freaking
literally last night, or
human
like I said, I've been
beings
up
who
for
love each other
way
for
too
who
long.
they
I don't know what year it is at this point. It
I
could be
wanted to say
1995.
that.
I wasn't even alive in 1995, but it could be 1995, babe.
I wanted to say that, but then
I had a
you
conversation
just
of like
started to go on your
because
rant about
they are
politics
conservatives, and
religion,
Tyler, you
and
probably
you
know
kind
who I
of,
was talking to about this. But they have always been conservative, and I hope that one day that'll change, and maybe it won't, maybe it will, whatever. Also, remember, I don't have notifications on my phone, so if you're texting me right now, I won't see it.
I'm not,
okay, cool.
but okay.
Well, I know sometimes I go on a tangent and you text me to shut the fuck up, so.
I would never.
I just go back and screenshot all the times that you've ever told me to shut the fuck up on the podcast. No, but I had a conversation literally the other night about like what they don't realize is that unfortunately we are in the new party. The conservatives are the new party. And Donald Trump is the new do you know what I'm saying? Like, yes. And I think like I told the person that I was talking to, the second that they try to put me in one of them camps, I will put a bullet in my own head. I will. I do, like, that is drastic, but I'm not going to be in one of those camps. I'm not going to be starved to death, and I'm not going to be gassed. I'm not going to sit through hours and hours of brainwashing material. I did that as a child. I did that as a child going to church. I'm not doing that as an adult. So when it comes to that, and when the U.S. Army or whoever shows up on my doorstep to take me to that camp, I will take a knife or I will take a gun and I will put it in my head. I'm not doing that. I don't care enough to live through that. And if this is the last that you ever hear from me, and this is my, like, final, like, I guess, video diary of who I was as a person, I'm okay with that, because I don't want to be a part of that. That is not something I want to live through. That is not something that, like, I'm good. I'm at peace with who I am. I'm at peace with what I believe. I'm at peace at who I love and what I care about. And I'm not going to sit through all of that because it's just not, I don't care enough to. And yeah, I know that their whole end game is to have all of us eradicated from the earth, and maybe I'm helping them with that, but I'm not going to live through that because I don't give a shit about their agenda enough to live through it. So maybe one day maybe in the history books this will be something where it's like, this is a normal person who really was against what the like party has done. And if that is, and if someday somebody is listening to this and I did because of that, I'm okay with that. Genuinely I am, because I am not going to play their game. I'm not going to play their game. I'm not going to lay down, and I'm not going to take it. I'd rather not be on this earth. Full stop. Let's move on to literally any other conversation. I will either take Taylor Swift at this point.
I wasn't fucking talking.
I know, but I know. I just realized that I went on a tangent.
I even fucking said that we were not going to talk about religion or politics on this channel.
I went on a tangent.
And
I'm sorry.
Went with it.
I'm sorry. I did.
Oh my god.
I just have thoughts, and I know that's what we're heading for. And I just want it to be known in the history books. I'm cool with it. Not cool with what they're going to do to us, but I'm cool with... I don't want to deal with that.
Well, that's
because I know they're gonna kill me off anyways. Why the fuck would I want to stay around for it? For like the torture and shit.
That's where enacting change comes in. But
yeah, and that's why I'm saying go vote.
That's a topic for not this podcast.
Yeah. You can leave any of that in. You can leave none of that in. I don't care. If you leave none of it in, we have nothing that like any of. You can leave this in. You can be like, this could be the start of the fucking podcast for all I give a damn.
Oh my god. So, to get off of damn politics,
I'm sorry. I just can't.
I know that
woke
you
up to this conversation
wanted...
being talked about. I literally had someone knock on my door and be like, actually, this is never gonna happen. I'm sorry. That's what I wake up to most mornings. Yes, I know.
I know that you wanted to talk about the announcement that they're making a live-action Moana with Dwayne The Rock playing, kooky voices in the movie.
Yes. I'm so excited for this film. Moana is I'm not gonna say my favorite Disney film, but it's definitely up there. I will admit this. I will kind of give the history of why I really like Moana. My dad and I were very not creepily close, but I could tell him anything and he would believe me. Okay, he was one of the only family members that I could tell anything to, and he would believe me. He is the reason that I've named some things what I've named some things. Okay. Quite literally. But I have always, because my dad and I were, I could tell him anything, and he always told me he would always take me to Hawaii one day, because that's something that he got to do with his dad, that, to the day that he died, one of the last things that he ever talked about was that vacation to Hawaii, and how, he was really, just... Sorry, my cat just jumped on a little tree to look out the window. How he was bummed that he never got to take my mom and I to Hawaii. That was, a conversation that we did have. Yeah. And so then to be able to, kind of relate to Moana, not in, the necessary going out and, adventure, and I guess kind of in a way I did, but to, because Moana then, spoiler alert, but also if you haven't seen the film now, are you okay? Moana, in the film, Moana's grandmother does pass, and to this day, I cry, at least one tear is shed at that scene, just because it's such a beautifully done, bit of animation. I think we can agree on that. Yeah. It is beautifully done. And then for obviously later on, when she is at one of her lowest points, she is her grandmother kind of comes to her and is like, hey, if you don't want to continue this, you don't have to. You don't. Yeah. But also, if you do, I'm here with you and I support whatever you choose. And I think because in a way that is kind of who my dad was for me, that piece is so important to me. But also it's just beautifully done. It's a beautifully animated. The music is fantastic. I I love it. I think that it's a really good film, and I'm actually very excited to see a live action version, which I've seen other people who are like, I've seen some people who are like, leave animation at animation, but I do think that it's nice. It's something that Disney's doing right now. I know that it's just a
Yeah.
way for them to make more money off of, like, videos and movies that they've already done, but I'm excited for it. If they fuck it up,
Yeah, well, that's what
I'm
I'm
gonna be
like
pissed.
50-50 on. That's what I'm like 50-50 on because I'm like, I do like some of these live action remakes of
Yeah.
movies, the animated movies, but at the same time, I'm like, I can tell that you just don't have any other
Yeah.
ideas and you're just doing
Throwing
it
some
for the sake
spaghetti
of
on a
putting
wall and hoping
content
that it
out.
sticks. Yeah.
Exactly. You're putting content out just for the sake of content. I'm like, you don't need to do that. If you don't have any ideas, people who really love Disney will be like, okay, then we'll give you the time to
And
think
I'm one
about new
of the
ideas.
literally the hat that I have on is a Disney cruise hat. Okay, when I tell you, like, I like people in my life have made jokes about me being a Disney adult. There is to this day only one person that can actually make that joke, and I kind of hate that they are the only person that can make that joke. But I've told them that they are the only person that can make that joke, and I stand by that because I don't go back on my promises, unlike other people. That's not here nor there. I'm going to bring that back in. That was not even at the person that I'm talking about that can call me a Disney adult. That is at something completely different. I would like to say that just in case they do hear it. They're not going to. That was not at you, okay? It was really bad timing. But as a Disney adult, I would much rather them put something that they actually are like proud to put out. And maybe they are proud to put out all of these remakes. I think that Aladdin was really nice because it took it from basically women
Yeah,
being
Aladdin was
property
good.
to like, fuck you, I'm gonna stand up and say something for my own self. Like
Yeah.
I liked that. I love that. I love that message. I listen to Speechless literally at least once a day. I'm not joking. I listen to Speechless at least once a day. But
Can we
yeah,
talk about how? Can we talk about how Rachel? I think her name was Rachel Zegler. Um, ruined the live action Snow White for me.
they have a live action Snow White.
It hasn't come out yet,
Got it. Comment.
but the person who is playing Snow White, her name is Rachel Zegler.
Wait,
I don't know if that came across
mm,
the camera, but that was disgusting. Anyway, she
like Dance Moms,
is
Maddie Ziegler, like related to her. Oh,
no,
got it.
no, I don't think
Okay.
so. Um, she has ruined the live action Snow White's like reputation for so many people that they are simply not going to watch it. And I am one of them. I'm simply not going to watch the live action Snow White simply because of how much of a and I as much of a absolute bitch that she is.
I don't get to deserve to call myself a Disney adult. I am not aware of the tea. Please spill.
That's okay. I got it mostly through TikTok,
TikTok
so I'm
rules the
not
world.
sure.
Let's be honest.
Yeah. So the problem with Rachel Zegler is that so she in every interview that she's been in, she's talked about how the movie is different from the live action. Like, it's not so. It's not so like dependent on the woman being an object and like Prince Charming coming to the
Which we
rescue.
love.
It's so dependent about the woman being an independent, strong woman. Which,
We love.
yes, we do love that. I'm not saying I don't love that. But the way she goes about it is she talks about how the original movie, animated movie, was so misogynistic and so, like, gross, which it really wasn't. I
It could have
mean,
been worse.
I get it. it could have been worse, and I
Worse.
get that for the time period. I get that for the time period it came out, it may have been a little
Not
misogynistic,
even a
but
little,
that
you
was
know.
also the time period that it came
As
out.
much as I hate to admit it, yeah,
Like,
I'm one to be like, we have to think about what time is this film being created and what was okay during that time.
yeah.
I hate that I have to
And
be that way, but I do, you
while
know?
some of the while a lot of the live action movies have differed a little
Yeah.
bit from the original, she made it out to be like it's a completely different film, and I'm like, okay, then why are we calling it a Snow White remix? But that
Yeah.
or remake? But that's not even my issue. My issue is just how I'm probably not the right person to talk about
Possibly
this,
not.
um, especially because other people that I've seen on TikTok who talk about it could tell you it in such better detail and such better words. But she's just so. All she does is complain about the original Snow White. And all she does is complain about everything. And I'm like, you're the one who got casted to be the Snow White. And then you were like, yes, I will be this Snow White. But then all you do
Yeah, you did
on
agree to, like,
interviews
film
about
it.
it is you complain about it. Like, and then on one interview, she talked about how she should get royalties for every time it gets streamed on Disney Plus, and I'm like, bitch, what the fuck? You are not the goddamn queen of the world. Hello.
I will not
Excuse
be
me?
watching this film. Wait, hold on.
Oh.
Hold on.
Oh no, the
The
green
green
screen
screen!
fell. But yeah, she just has such a cocky like
Attitude about it.
I'm the
Ew.
best I'm the best person in the world to play
No,
Snow
fuck
White
you. What the
attitude.
fuck do you mean?
So exactly. So I'm like,
Will
okay,
not
then
be
I just
watching.
won't watch
Okay,
this
like
film.
actual. Excuse me, princess. Hi,
Like
hello.
I'm not gonna go to the theaters when it comes out, and I'm not gonna watch it on Disney Plus when it comes out on streaming.
Yeah, and that like is actually something really sad because I like kind of knew they were
Because
making one, but
it's probably a really
it's probably
good movie,
a decent
too.
movie, especially if she is saying that like it's not about, oh, I'm getting
It's
saved
not
or whatever.
exactly like the original.
Yeah, it probably is a really good film, but because she's bitching
But,
and
like,
complaining and moaning,
just because she's such a dick about it, I'm like,
no.
sorry, I can't support you as an actress because all you want to do is bitch and complain.
And I'm not saying that
Yet-
you can't like be like, oh, I wasn't a huge fan of the way that the movie took shape. You can say that. I'm fine. In fact, I encourage you to say that.
I get that.
But you can't
I
just bitch
get
and
the
moan because
fact-
at the end of the day, you are making thousands upon thousands upon thousands upon possibly millions of dollars off of this movie. Shut the fuck up, do your job, and be done with it. Shut the fuck up. You know what I mean?
I'm okay. I'm okay with her being like, I just don't sit well with the original Snow
You can say
White.
that. Yes.
I'm okay with that
Support
because it's a completely different time where people had different views on women and how to treat women and all that.
And we still have a long way to go on how to treat women. I'm just going to be so fucking for real with you.
But at the same time, I'm like, you can't bitch and complain about acting in a role that not only you had to be casted for, but you also had to say yes.
Yeah, you had the choice to say no.
Like, you had the choice to be like, they could have told you, hey, we would love for you to be Snow White, and you'd be like, I'm good, thanks. You had that choice. And then you chose to roll with it, but now all you're doing is complaining about it. And then on top of that, you're demanding royalties for people watching it on Disney Plus. No. That's not how that works. So that's the reason I have a problem with the live
like,
action.
because she's more than likely getting so much money. Like, and I
definitely.
think I don't like, and
You should see the dress she's wearing.
Oh God, here's my thing. I don't like it when rich people complain. I'm not saying that rich people don't have a right to complain. I'm saying when you can feed your family and you can afford nice fucking things that is not just the bare minimum to survive, shut the fuck up! Shut up! Okay? Because
exactly.
I'm not saying I live a decent life. I know that. I own my mom owns this house, okay? I currently live in it because I'm still figuring out my leg situation and I've got a lot of PT and possible surgery to do. I'm not saying that my mom lives in a nice house in a nice neighborhood. It is the bare minimum for the middle class, okay? It is the bare minimum for the middle class. I'm aware of the fact that I am not the person to truly complain about this, but as someone who has lived and I don't always know where my next meal is coming from. I'm going to be honest about that. I think I've told you this personally. I think I've told you this privately. I will admit this publicly. I don't always know where my next meal comes from. I feed my family, and whatever's left is what I eat. Okay? This is not me complaining about that. This is just me being so fucking honest. That is a true statement. I am very lucky that I can afford the things that I can afford. And I am very lucky to afford the things that I can afford. So when people that are fine, and I mean fine, okay? You know where your next meal is coming from. You know that you have a house over your head. You know that you can afford heating, air conditioning. You know that you can afford all of those, essentially what nowadays is the bare minimum to survive. When you are then complaining, oh, I don't like the job that I have, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. You can say, hey, I'm not stoked about it.
Acting,
yeah, because who the fuck gives a damn? Choose another fucking job. Right. Choose any other job. Choose any other fucking project.
Or literally go audition for
shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. I hate that shit.
There's something else that she's in that comes out, I think, even before Snow White. I'm like, you're making
millions and millions of dollars. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. Because I don't like that shit. Because, and I'm not even saying it for me. I'm not even saying that you should give me the money. I don't give a damn, okay? At the end of the day, my family is fed. That's all I give a shit about, okay? I don't care if I eat. My family's fed. That's all. Shut up. But when you are then complaining and being like, ooh, my life is so hard. I'm so, the people like the Kardashians really piss me off because, oh, Northwest Party isn't going to have the, multi-million-dollar bounce house in the right shade that shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Because that bounce house, the money that you are spending on that bounce house alone, not even the rest of the goddamn party. I don't even think this is something maybe this is something they've faced. But when you are complaining over that little a thing, and this is what all rich people do. Every single rich person that I've ever met complains about this. There's maybe one rich person that isn't and I can't even believe that I'm defending this person because of my own personal thoughts, but the fact when you're complaining about a bounce house being the wrong shade, check yourself. And I think the person that I know that is super rich like that would agree with me. Check yourself. Because the amount of times that I've had the conversation with that person, that rich people need to check themselves and check what they're complaining about. Yeah. I'm not saying that they don't have struggles. I'm not saying they don't have struggles because I know that they do. I'm sure that oh, my business is...
Yeah, but the struggles are different than ours.
But you don't get to complain about it. You don't. Not to the general public. You get to complain about that in your own family at your own dinner table. Because at the end of the day, those are the only motherfuckers who care. I do not give a shit that Harry Styles is ooh, I don't even know if Harry Styles would, because I don't think that he would. I don't give a shit if Harry Styles is oh, my, outfit tonight isn't the right shade of pink. Maybe that's a conversation he's had. Maybe he's chewed out his stylist. If he has, good for him. But, if Taylor Swift is complaining about, oh, I'm, missing one sparkle on this one nail. If Harry Styles is oh, my whatever, fuck off. And I love, I love Harry Styles. Fuck off.
Yeah. I love Taylor Swift too, but if she starts complaining
I
about
don't think either one of them ever would.
small shit like that, I'd be like,
But check yourself.
excuse
My
you?
whole
Check your fucking privilege.
check yourself. That is my whole
yeah.
thing. I just want rich people to be aware of the fact that they are privileged. They are very privileged.
Well, that's also
my
that's
house is,
also
my
why
house
I
could
like
fucking
Taylor Swift
fall apart at any
because-
moment. Check yourself. All
Yeah.
right.
Well, that's one of the reasons I like Taylor Swift so much, because she's, I mean, yes, she is a billionaire.
A multi-billionaire,
Yes.
I've heard.
No way. She just became.
I'm so far removed from like what she does. I don't know.
She only became a billionaire like a month
Really?
ago.
I thought she would have hit that ages ago. I thought she would have hit that in the red era.
No.
Okay, got it. Wow, I really don't know anything
that
about
was
her.
like a month ago.
Okay.
Anyway, my point is that's why I like her so much, is that because yes, she is a billionaire, and yes, they're all most likely just things that are, I don't know the exact word for it, but things that are naturally bad about billionaires. There are probably things that are naturally bad about it, about those types of people. But she also gives back to the community.
And I have heard that she does that, and I do appreciate that.
She also, when she ended her U.S. leg, or her first U.S. leg of this A-list tour that's going on, she gave a $10 million bonus to every single
I didn't know
crew
that.
member that put the stage
But also,
together,
isn't that
helped
her
with
dad
lighting,
as
helped
well?
with sound.
I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it. Please don't come for me. I'm not saying, I'm sure he does, because he worked, I know that they all work really hard, because I've seen the layout of the stage. That cannot be easy to, prepare that night after night. That cannot be easy. I agree, they deserve that money.
No, I don't.
But isn't that also her dad?
I don't think her dad, I don't know exactly what you mean, but at the same time, I'm not no, her dad didn't help her out with this A-list tour thing.
Oh, I heard that he was a part of the
yes,
stage crew, and he would go and set up the next concert before she got there. But I really mean, when I tell you I do not know Taylor Swift,
maybe he would
I do not know.
Maybe he would go and help, but
yeah, I heard that he was a part of that in some way. Again, I don't know.
But you all correct.
I just don't like nepotism.
She didn't. But you're correct in the way that she didn't get raised. And I know get raised is not the right term, but she didn't grow up. Grow up's a better term.
That's probably,
She didn't grow up poor. Her father had already owned a record.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So she wasn't exactly. So
she knew what she was doing, and it was very calculated, I would say. And I don't mean that in a malicious way. I mean that she earned what she got, but also she did have that extra leg up.
Her parents owned a Christmas tree farm.
Oh, that's actually really cute.
But her dad also owned a record label.
Look at me learning new things.
I think it's owned. I'm not sure if it just worked, but. Yes, she didn't necessarily grow up poor. She had a good jump start to her career, but she was also a good singer. And
she is. I will admit that. She is.
Yes,
I like her voice. She has a very nice voice.
I will admit that, she didn't come from poor people. She didn't make this life entirely by herself. But pretty much, her dad only really helped her get started. Everything after everything after she got signed on to a record label has been her own.
And that's what's important for me. I just want you can have a leg up, but I want you to earn everything else on your own merit.
Yeah.
But also I think, and maybe this is hypocritical, but the one dude for the Ocean Gate thing, where he's like, my dumb stepdad drowning in a submarine, gonna get his money, blah, 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 blah. Whatever his whole thing was, I did love that. I think that they are so fucking stupid.
What?
Have you not heard the song? It was all over TikTok.
No, but
my dumb stepdad drowning in a submarine, gonna get his money. He's like talking about how he's like at a Blink 182. I played this for you. I know for a whole ass fact I played this for you when I was in your area last time. But like his whole thing is that like his dumb rich stepdad decided to go down in this ocean gate and he's probably dead while he's at a Blink 182 concert and is like just rocking out, and he's so stoked because his dumb ass stepdad went down into this like submersible, but I think he calls it a submarine in the thing.
Well,
and no, let me finish because I'm ADHD. I'm ADHD. Let me finish this. Oh my god, I love you so much. Let me finish this. His whole thing is that like he's so stoked that his dumb stepdad has drowned in the submarine because he's gonna get all of the stepdad's money. That is the entire point of the song. And whilst I have mixed feelings. Because first of all, the fact that you're so fucking stupid to go down in a not even submarine to go see the Titanic. You're a fucking... The fact that you paid for it, honestly, the fact that you paid $500,000 to go down in a not U.S. like not even like regulated... It had shit from Camping World. The fact that you paid that much money to go down on that shit, you deserve to implode. The fact that you even had the money alone to be like, oh, I'm gonna like go like spend what I consume to be like a cup of coffee, because that somebody broke down like how much money that actually is to these people, and that's a cup of coffee to these people. And the fact that you're just gonna be like, you deserve to explode, and I hope that it was painful. Because over here,
Damn.
I'm sorry, you better believe that. Because over here, I don't know what I'm going to feed my family tonight. I don't. I have no idea what the fuck I'm going to feed. It's not going to be good. It's going to be edible, and we're going to, like, be nourished. But I don't know what I'm feeding my family tonight, and the fact that you're spending $500,000 to go down to the bottom of the ocean and see a fucking Titanic. Like, I love the Titanic. I do. But the fact that you're spending that much money that could be used for so many better, like, causes.
Yeah.
Thank you. I really do hope it was painful, though, because I just...
Someone's a little mad.
I'm just a little mad. I fucking hate rich people, and they all deserve to go to hell. Except for Harry Styles and maybe Taylor Swift. But I don't know enough about Taylor Swift to really say that, so that's why I'm saying maybe.
I would say
Taylor
Swift.
But if you say Taylor Swift, then I will agree Taylor Swift too. But everybody else...
Okay. So...
And Louis Tomlinson goes without a shadow of a doubt.
I mean, I've said this before, not on the podcast, but I've said this on, like, TikTok when, you know, the whole Ocean Gate thing was
I was reposting every meme, and if I go to hell for reposting every meme, I deserve it.
Yes... I am truly sorry for the
human life, R.I.P.
these people.
I will admit that, yes.
But at the same time,
you're so fucking stupid.
I'm like, exactly. I'm like, you decided to go down in a submarine that the only part of it that was actually regulated and was actually like designed for that kind of pressure was the like main hull.
Oh, I heard that wasn't even.
Fucking idiot.
I heard that wasn't even.
I heard that it was that the main hull was actually like submarine material, but everything else.
I heard obviously everybody knows about the fucking handle that was from Camping World, but like I heard that like not even the submarine was meant to like. I heard that like the hull of it was just meant for like. To like go inside the water at like a couple feet and then come out, but I didn't, because I heard that it wasn't like regulated for that depth. And I'm not claiming to be an expert on the whole situation. I really am not, because honestly, I just reposted all of the memes because I thought it was so fucking hilarious that all of these dumb ass bitches decided to spend that much money instead of putting it to a good cause to go see.
They aren't experts.
Yeah.
Well, that's my thing, too.
I want to see the Titanic, I get it.
That much money. No, but you have that much money, and instead of, you know, putting it into... I mean, you said good causes, but think about it. There are actual submarine tolls that go down to the Titanic. Why couldn't you have put that money into that?
See,
kind of
and that's
toilet
what confuses
and had,
me.
A private. You could have had
somebody
like, a
who knows what the fuck they were talking
for, like,
about.
all 5 of you.
Because the dude who did it, wasn't he like not even that into the Titanic? Like, obviously he was into it enough. Didn't he also not go down with the fucking, like, with everybody else? Or was he in that thing? Because I heard that he wasn't, but I don't know. I really do not know enough about this. I just know that they are all fucking idiots.
You know they won't.
I know, but I like to think that they were like, oh, I've made a really bad decision, and I am a terrible fucking human being, and I deserve this. That's what I wanted. But also, if that did happen, then I think in the Christian theories, they go to heaven, and I don't want those people in heaven. I say that like I'm going to heaven. I know I'm not. I just on the Ocean Gate thing alone, I reposted way too much to actually go to heaven.
In theory, both of us are going to hell, but I tell you what now, we're probably both going to heaven, and everyone else who says we're going to hell is going to hell.
Oh, and I love that. That is my favorite.
If you
do that every night.
Well, that's the thing. I think heaven and hell are probably real, but they are not what anyone
No,
says
they really aren't. Because here's the thing, and maybe I've said this before, but the Bible isn't the Bible. The Bible is whatever the original text said. That is not what the Bible currently is, because people have translated it and translated it and translated it and translated it, so on and so forth. It's not what it says, because humans are humans, and because at the end of the day, your interpretation, let's say that I say something in Finnish and you also know Finnish, but you are interpreting it to an English speaker. If I say something in Finnish, you are taking what I've said, what you understand that I've said, and interpreting it into English for whoever the English speaker is. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you're not saying word for word necessarily what I'm saying. You're saying your interpretation of that word. And that is what I believe the Bible has been done. Because also, how many fucking times do we need to bring up the fact that when they say men will lie with boys, they are not talking about gay people. They are talking about pedophilia. But nobody fucking wants to admit that, because the church is all for pedophilia. Do we need to remind everybody what the fucking Pope has done?
Do we need to remind people what Catholics
do? On the daily. I'm not saying all Catholics.
I'm not saying all Catholics.
We're saying it has very publicly happened. Even in the church that I grew up in, that was an issue. Where, like, not like necessarily like the head pastor, but like there were pastors in that have been little people touchers. And I don't mean short people.
It's come out.
And the fact that people are still like, yeah, let's go to this church. Like, I will say, they did a great job of sweeping it under the rug. If you look up my church, I'm not going to give the name because I don't give a shit enough to. But if you were to look up my church and this scandal, I don't even
remember the name of my church.
The only reason I remember it is because my mom goes every Sunday.
Actually, I do. For some
But the point is, if you look up my mega church and, like the SA. Oh yeah, I was in a mega. Well, it wasn't originally a mega church, but it's turned into a mega church. But if you look up the name of my church and the scandal with the actual victims that it was, you will not find anything of it, because our legal team has swept it under the rug. And the people that were involved, I know some people that were like physically involved in this, and they have been paid like mega hush money because of this. Like, if you believe that your church gives a damn about you, you're
I will say
you are going to drink the Kool-Aid.
So here's my thing. I've seen so many of those things where, like, you know, people are given hush money for shit.
Well, because the person that I know was pregnant because of the situation as well.
Well, yeah. But the
child is a lovely child. Like, the church doesn't admit it, and they're like, "Oh, it's a bastard."
In that situation, I would honestly take the hush money, and then once I knew that the hush money was in my account, I would fucking rag on those people.
Because they make you sign contracts, and I know because I also had to sign a contract. I can't talk about what happened with my contract, but I've also signed a contract and I cannot speak about it. Legally, they can come after me for everything which they're not going to get much. You and I both know they're not going to get jack shit. But if I actually had the money to go after them for what they've said, and if I were to ever say it on this podcast, they would come after me for everything that I'm worth, and they legally can, and they would win. I know that for a fact.
Yeah.
And they made sure that I knew that for a fact. Because that's what Christianity does.
Why the fuck did you sign that contract?
Because my family needed the money and I needed to eat that night. And they knew that. They knew that. That's what the church does. The church has a legal team. The church does not give a shit about you. The church wants your money. It is a cult. That is why I'm so anti-religion and anti-organized religion, because I know what they do.
But even my cam was anti-religion.
Hell yeah, brother!
So I'm not anti-religion, but I am definitely anti-organized religion.
I'm not anti-religion. I am anti-organized.
If you want to be a Christian, Hindu, Islam, Jewish,
Muslim,
whatever
go for
else,
it. Please enjoy
Buddhism,
it. If that brings you happiness, please enjoy it. Please enjoy it.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't care. But if you're gonna be a part of a church, be very, very careful.
Yes. Please be careful. Do your research.
Organized and most organized religion is absolute bullshit.
Yes.
And I say that in the mind of Christianity, but that's also because I've only really been exposed.
I don't think I'm sure other religions have these issues, but I know that Christianity is the religion that struggles the most with little tiny human touchers.
And that might be because they're only the
And the best part is, the person that I dealt with in this situation still works at my church. That is the best part. Anytime because we go every, Christmas Eve and whatever, I have to see this person every Christmas Eve. I have to see this person every Easter. I did not get enough money for what I dealt with and to have to see this person the amount of times of a year that I have to see this person. I did not get paid enough at all. I should be living in a multi-million-dollar mansion for what that person did to me and for what I have to, deal with. I should be living in I should be Taylor Swift, is what I'm saying. Okay? I should be Taylor Swift, but I'm not. Do I know what I'm feeding my family tonight? No, the fuck I do not. But,
Can we just address the fact that we literally said, I think at the beginning of this podcast too, but at the beginning of the whole podcast, we made it kind of clear that we weren't going to talk about politics and religion. And that's exactly what we fucking talk about. And again,
I think that we do need to. We're not talking about all. We are talking about the people that the only people that we've ever had, interactions with. And unfortunately, and I think that's the really unfortunate thing about it, is that so many people have these stories, but the religious leaders have just swept it under the rug and just paid hush money. Yeah. And I know that if I made enough of a stink about it, I could get more hush money, but I don't give a shit enough to, because I just want to live my life. You know?
Yeah.
I just want to live my life. I want to make sure that my family has food tonight. That's all I give a shit about. I want to make sure that, my cat lives in relatively okayness. You know what I mean? I have nice things. I do. I have some things that are nicer than others, but the only reason that I have those things is because I've worked my ass off to have those things, and that's why I take care of them to the extent that I do. You know? Yeah. Because I'm not a multimillionaire who can afford anything under the sun, and you know what I mean? I have family that can do that. I do. I could call any one of those family members right now and be like, I need money, and they would give it to me. I know that for a fact. But I don't want to.
That's how I am right now.
And I think that separates us from everybody else, because we want to do it on our own.
I hate asking people.
Exactly.
I hate it.
Because
but I have to.
I don't. I would rather die than ask somebody for money. But sometimes you have to. And I'm to the point of I may have to soon enough. And if that's a thing, then that's a thing. And I will live with that, and I will pay that person back later. May take me a little bit, but I'll pay that person back later. But at the end of the day, I think that just because the conservatives have won so many times, and unfortunately because the wrong conservatives have won, I don't think that the Conservative Party as a whole is necessarily bad. I really don't. I think that some of them really do have the best intentions in heart. I just think that they've been corrupted by other people who don't have the best intentions at heart. And I think the same thing for the Democratic Party. I think that some of them have the right intentions in heart, but others don't. That is how I feel about the entirety of the world.
That's every party.
That's every party. That's every religion. That's everything
Democrat,
in general.
Republican, Independent, Christian, Islam, Buddhist. Like,
I think that, and I think that's just really sad.
Which is why there shouldn't be religion, period, and there shouldn't be,
or at least not talked about. Like, I have my own religious beliefs, but I do not talk about them. Do you know what religion I am? Do you know what I believe?
I mean.
No.
Like,
and I'm saying that to you, Tyler. You don't know what I believe. We don't have that conversation. I don't know what you believe. Because that's not a conversation that is worth having to us. Because I'm not trying to convince you to believe the way that I do. And you're not trying to convince me to believe the way that you do. And that's because nobody should be trying to convince anyone to join their cult.
That's funny because I actually just recently saw a TikTok on something like that where this woman was trying to argue that she was trying to argue basically that morality is an opinion and is not concrete, which I will say some aspects of morality are fluid.
Yes.
It depends on what you believe. But there are some, such as, killing another human being,
probably not the best
are pretty rigid in what they are. But
because I don't even think that if you kill somebody else, you should be killed yourself. I understand in certain...
Yeah, I don't believe that either. Your camera didn't like that.
No, my camera, my phone has 20% remaining, so we need to wrap this up semi-soon.
But she tried to make a point that because whole stance on abortion is opinion-based and not factual-based.
Oh my God.
Is that... I'm not getting you started. I'm just making a point.
I know.
Is that her whole point was basically that since her view on it is opinion-based and her morality on it is opinion-based, then she can go, she can try and get it basically banned and stuff.
Whoa, that's an opinion.
But I'm just...
Good for her. I mean, if you have those guts to say that and you're okay with the rest of the world hating you, sure, go live your life.
But I'm also
you're an asshole.
if it's your opinion, then just don't get one yourself and let other people do the for me, I'm gonna get into my political stuff just a little bit. But
also, I hope at this point you figured out how to cut out my audio and my camera for a minute.
Yes. I myself I would say, okay, when I say these things for you, Aspen, and for the viewers, it is not in the way that you think it is. I am personally pro-life.
Yeah.
I want to see babies born and babies grow up and live the life that they were meant to live. But I'm not gonna say to you or to anyone else, hey, you need to have that baby because I'm pro-life. Yeah. And I'm not gonna be oh, it doesn't matter if it's a pregnancy that endangers your life. You still need to have that baby. I'm not going to say that. It's just, I'm pro-life personally. But, if you cannot handle having a child...
You shouldn't have to.
Yeah, you shouldn't have to. And with the way that the U.S. foster care and adoption system is,
Yeah.
That's a little tricky
Yeah.
too, because both of those systems.
Because if you
Both of
give
those
your kid up for
systems
adoption
suck.
or for like whatever, you're signing that kid up to be abused, and you know that. I'm not saying everybody who
And
adopts. I'm
that's
not saying everybody who adopts. I'm not saying that everybody who fosters. I'm not
yeah,
saying
that's
that.
not
I'm
that's
saying
not
the
every
mass
adoption
majority.
agency and foster care, but America has that systematic problem where most adoption agencies and most foster care people end up getting trauma from it because it's so messed up.
Yeah. I think I have very similar opinions of like I myself don't think I can live with the morality of getting an abortion. But I also, if you can live with that choice, please go for it.
It's fine.
Even if you just like,
Yeah,
I'm like,
I
I'm
don't
not
care.
in the place to have a kid. Go for it.
Whatever.
Can you not hear me?
No, I can.
My AirPod, one of them died, and I think the other one's on the way out, so I don't know what's happening. But like, if you can live with the morality of that, then please go for it. I think I've been brainwashed because I've been in a religious setting most of my life. I've been brainwashed enough to like.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't believe that for myself. But also, if you are morally okay with it, please go for it. And regardless if it is your life or your baby's life, go for it. I do not give a shit if you're morally okay with it or not.
As much as we've said that we wouldn't get into religion or politics,
I guess this is our one episode.
I guess this is our one episode where we really get into religion and politics. So, but you know what? Everyone has different religion. Everyone has different politics. If you don't like it, don't watch the video. If you don't like it, don't watch my content.
I can't hear anything you're saying, so I'm gonna nod and smile.
If you don't like it and you still want to watch, go ahead. I don't care what you do. As long as you don't come on our channel and comment hate,
no hate,
and all that stuff.
I heard the word hate, so I'm assuming we're saying no hate. I don't like. I can hear you like this much.
So this has been hopefully the one political and religious episode of this podcast.
I'm assuming we're saying this is the one political something or another. Yay us.
If you liked it, go subscribe for more content like this. We'll have plenty more podcast episodes.
Subscribe, like, leave a comment. Ring the bell. I think that's
I also have a bunch of gaming content that you can go and watch. This person is cracking me out right now. I don't know why.
I have no idea what's happening.
He can't even heal me right now. So I can talk shit about him. But anyway, this has been the Flundon Brothers What a Time to Be Alive podcast, and we will see all of you next time. Bye-bye.